Live in Western Oregon, this is NBC 16 Today.
Well, good morning and thanks for joining us on NBC 16 Today. It is Friday morning. I'm Briana Chavez. Zach Brule is off today. We'll get to our top stories in just a moment, but really one of the bigger talkers from yesterday being that weather. We had quite the amount of snow for some areas, a wintry mix in others, and continuing to deal with a little bit of that throughout this morning. Still another round of active weather headed our way. As of right now, we're tracking out what's in store in the upper elevations of the Cascades, and it really shows the divide in where that activity is focusing on in and where we see the temperature changes. Really that darker area headed into the eastern foothills of the coastal mountain ranges and even a little bit farther west into the coast is going to be an ice storm warning. Now, we saw this yesterday, but majority of the area managed to taper it down to just seeing some snow across the board. As far as what else we've got hanging around the area, we're also tracking out a winter weather advisory. Now, we've been seeing this on and off throughout the last couple of days. That's going to be going into effect throughout this morning until later on tonight. And part of that is because of what we're seeing on satellite radar. I mean, still hanging on tight to quite the amount of activity into the foothills of the Cascades, the coastal areas, and even portions of that I-5 corridor. Really to track it out for you guys, throughout that I-5 corridor, what we are seeing some blue, which normally signals a little bit of that snow. It's going to turn into a little bit more of a rain-snow mix as it heads closer into the valley floor. Temperatures partly responsible for why we're seeing another round of that as well. I'm really talking about what you can expect to see heading out the door. The southern Willamette Valley still hanging on tight to some 30s, relatively in that freezing category. But of course, as we head farther south, already hanging on tight to some 40s for some areas throughout the Umpqua valleys. And this could continue to really bring us some more relief going from the potential of a freezing rain to just those rain showers. And once again, we do have an extensive list of delays and closures for today. Here in Lane County, we only have one so far. Fern Ridge School District on a 2-hour delay. In Lynn County, the Central Lynn School District is closed. Greater Albany, Lynn, Benton, Lincoln, ESD, and Sweet Home School Districts on a 2-hour delay. As for Benton County, Corvallis, and Monroe School Districts on 2-hour delays, and the Philomath School District will be closed. Albany Christian School is on a 2-hour delay. And then turning now to colleges and universities, Western Oregon University closed for the day. Lynn Benton Community College and Oregon State University both expected to open this morning at 10 a.m. And we have a few others as well. The Willamette Valley Cancer Institute in Eugene, Springfield, and Corvallis opening at 10 a.m. All state offices are closed in Eugene, Salem, and Portland. The Lynn County Circuit Court is closed for today as well. For an updated list of closures and delays, you can always head to our website at nbc16.com. We also have that ticker running at the bottom of your screen with the latest information. And school delays, closures, slushy roads, pockets of ice were the wake-up call for all of Lane County yesterday morning. But Public Works crews told NBC 16's Gold Meadows they started working ahead of the forecast to prevent potential dangers from becoming worse.
Before most people were awake, the first team call came early Thursday morning as the city of Eugene prepared a combination of 14 plows or attachments mounted on trucks to take on the snow.
We've had our snow plows all hooked up and ready to go. We put out the anti-icing fluid that we do. We've been doing it for several weeks now because the weather has been so cold, and we were ready to go, had crews on standby.
County Public Works crews were also tuned in to several weather sites in preparation to treat roads before and during the overnight ice, snow, and rain mixture.
Try to get an idea of what's coming, and that'll tell us what we need to do for the process, whether it's sanding, magging, or plowing.
Hibbler, who works in Zone 1 of the 5-county zone, says magging, or the spreading of thousands of gallons of magnesium chloride, began a week ago, followed by tons of sand. The county has 30 plows or plow attachments mounted on trucks dispersed between the zones, and the focus goes to roads like 30th Avenue and Fox Hollow Road due to their higher elevation.
The stuff that's in higher elevations typically gets a little bit more attention. They get ice and snow a little bit sooner than the rest of the roads. There's some steep roads that we have in our zones, and we like to try to get the steeper roads for the the people to get out of their houses and down those hills a little bit safer.
As for city crews, main roadways take precedence.
Priority roads, the bigger roads, West 11th, Coburg, Chambers, the main thoroughfares.
Barnes tells us the response Thursday was a little different from January 2024's ice storm.
It was just a lot of ice that we couldn't really do a lot about. It was so thick, the de-icer wasn't super effective. This time we knew it was going to be more snow, slush, things like that our snowplows are much more effective with. So those dry roads really allowed us to be prepared.
Both the county and city say the effort to get the roads clear impacts first responders as well as public transit. And even with crews doing all they can, there's still a warning out for drivers to do their part.
A lot of people think that just because the municipalities put out de-icer or sand or plow the roads that it's safe to travel their normal speeds, and it's just not the case. There's still wheel ruts, snow wheel ruts, which will grab your tires and pull you around. There's a lot of hazards and dangers that people still need to be aware of and really take your time.
Light rain and snow could be on the way over the coming days, and officials say crews city and county-wide are standing by. In Lane County, I'm Gold Meadows.
And while looking at what conditions are looking at like now, our live shot buddy is showing us what the traffic is looking like throughout the morning hours. He's currently on I-5 heading southbound. We can definitely see those wet roads and slightly seeing some of that slush out on the side of the roads. Definitely a day you want to give yourself plenty of extra time and plan accordingly out there. As I take a look around Trip Check, while we aren't really seeing any major delays, still important to stay extra weather aware throughout the next couple of hours. We are seeing one small delay out over on I-5 northbound near milepost 195 by the Beltline intersection. Just wintry conditions expected out there, so make sure you're giving yourself plenty of extra time. Now headed a little bit farther north along I-5 into just a little bit east of Albany. You can see another delay out there. So just again, one of those days where you want to give yourself plenty of extra time this morning, whether it's to warm up your car a little bit longer than usual or just plenty of time to commute to the roads throughout this morning. Thanks, bud. And take a look at this. This was a massive pileup in the Columbia River Gorge after about 100 vehicles were involved in separate crashes near Multnomah Falls yesterday. One vehicle even burst into flames. Fortunately, everyone got out. The scene is now cleared and I-84 is back open. There were some injuries reported, but no fatalities. And while we dealt with our fair share of snow in Eugene, Corvallis got hit quite a bit harder. Oregon State's campus closed down as a result, alongside a number of school districts in Lynn and Benton County. Police in the area say that thankfully, people were able to stay safe during the more treacherous hours of the morning.
It looks like a lot of people were diligent about staying home if they can. So there's been a lot less traffic. In this type of weather, traffic is a concern for us, and fortunately there's been less of that. So folks are definitely doing a good job of keeping safe and being cognizant of the weather.
Now, when winter weather hits, make sure to remember those winter weather driving tips. Here's a list of those. Give plenty of room while driving. Drive like you can't trust your brakes. And give an extra beat or two while stopping at lights. In our crime tracker, we're still waiting to learn more about the ongoing search for a man law enforcement say is armed and dangerous. Now, multiple agencies started searching the Sweet Home area Wednesday afternoon for Tyler Lanz, who has outstanding felony warrants for assault. According to the Lynn County Sheriff's Office, Sweet Home police tried to arrest him just before 1 p.m. on Wednesday. However, he left his vehicle and fled on foot in the area of Springer Road and Upper Calpuya Drive. After an extensive search, authorities say they think Lance left the area. If you see him or know his whereabouts, officials say don't approach him, but call 911. We have asked the Sheriff's Office for an update on the search, but they have not given us any additional information. We'll continue to monitor this story and bring you more updates as it develops. Well, it's now 5:10 and straight ahead on NBC 16 today. We're going to continue to track out what this wet weather could bring us as we head into the start of the weekend.